Hello everyone, this is Charles McNeely again for DevDoc Theater, and I am so honored, privileged, and it is a wonderful joy to introduce you and welcome Miss Marianna Malveaux. Marianna, is that?
It's Marianna.
Marianna, but may I call you
Maury?
Maury is great. Okay, I'm Charlie. So it is so good to meet you and have you share your journey with all of us who can see this. But we're here to talk about something that I believe you've lived with for a few years.
Yeah.
Multiple sclerosis, and I can't even pronounce that.
Yeah, I know. Multiple sclerosis it's a tongue twister.
It is. Could you help us understand what is MS?
It's basically the immune system attacking the protective coating of the nerves. It's confused. It's like a miscommunication between the brain and the body.
Oh goodness, okay.
Like, you know that I want my right foot to step forward and then the left foot, but it's a miscommunication between the two, and you may just stumble and fall.
So it affects body movement.
Yes.
For one thing, it does that. So you have to be very careful, I would imagine. And
when I asked my doctor, I said, where did this name generate from, multiple sclerosis? She said, because it's multiple things going crazy in the body.
How long have you lived with this?
It's been 17 years.
What was the first thing that you knew something was wrong?
I would have like numbing and tingling, like just different parts of my body. And that came first, but you know, I didn't think anything about it.
Because a lot of us have numbness and stuff. And
it could be from anything. Right. But I had a seizure in my sleep. I was sound asleep, no stress. Normally people say, oh, if you have a seizure, you're stressed, and I was sleeping. And so my husband, he said I let out a scream, and then when he cut on the light, there was blood everywhere because I had bitten my tongue. That's one thing that happens when you have a seizure. You're jerking everywhere, and then your tongue. And so we called the ambulance and everything, got me to the hospital. The seizures were going on because they were trying to find out where they were coming from.
The first one she had, I remember it's like middle of the night. Next thing I know, it's like I'm more or less hearing my daddy like running up and down the hallway, just yelling. Because I think what happened was the ambulance passed up the house and all of that, so he was fussing about that. And that's when we woke up. He went ahead and went with him to the hospital, or we all went. And then I remember he told us, he said, just go home, relax, and all of the other stuff. It's like, I'll let y'all know if anything changes.
And the one thing that I did not want to happen was to have a seizure in front of them, and I did. I didn't remember all what happened. They had to explain to me what happened. My daughter said she passed by the room because I was watching TV. And when I knew it was coming because everything just went blurred, and then no memory after that. And so they didn't know what to do, and so they called their daddy, and he walked them through it.
At first, it was actually kind of funny because I think me and my older brother, we were actually watching a scary movie at the moment, and we heard something fall. And we both looked at the door, and we knew it came from my parents' room. I was like, all right, let me go see what's going on with her. So I walked in, that's when she was having a seizure. She was like already halfway off the bed, and she was on her way to hitting her head on the nightstand. So I had to I yelled, I ran in and caught her, and that's when my other brother came in.
Okay. How long did it take from that first thing to calling your dad and getting his help?
It felt like it took forever, but I think that was when my oldest brother, he was the one that called him. My other brother, he was on the floor with me. It was more or less us trying, like him talking on the phone, him relaying, and my other brother doing all the other.
Teamwork.
Yeah, that was the second one she had.
Well, it turned out I have lesions on my brain. That's part of multiple sclerosis, because it can be lesions on the brain, on the spinal cord, in the neck, which just about 5 years ago, they found one in my neck.
the third seizure that she had. That was the calmest it had ever been.
Wow. So the one after this big one that you heard something going on and you pulled her away from the nightstand.
Right.
That next one, what do you mean by it was the calm?
Daddy came in there, woke us up, and he said, hey, your mama just had a seizure. Come on. He said we can either call the ambulance or we can bring her to the hospital ourselves. My brothers decided we'll bring her to the hospital ourselves. Took 2 separate vehicles. They were in charge of her. I was in charge of the paperwork.
What do you mean paperwork?
Her insurance and all of that. Yeah, they were about to put the band on me. Yeah, they were about to put the band on me. Yeah, because my daddy had to hurry up and stop and say, no, it's not her. She's already in the back. Because the lady was like, oh, she said like she was so confused. She said, I was about to say, for somebody that just had a seizure, you're looking pretty good.
Yes. That's a light moment, so that's good. That's good.
So I was gotta have at least one. But I remember that was Easter weekend. So we ended up spending, that was like, I think, the first holiday we actually spent in the hospital with her. I remember me and my brothers, we ended up going back home. And I ended up going ahead and changing the bed sheets and all of that. Sure. And doing all of that. And my daddy came home, he said he was prepared to go and sleep on the couch. But by then I had already like changed the sheets and all.
Got the sheets and everything, very nice. He appreciated that, I'm sure. So you talked about the lesion. Or what was it on your neck?
It's
inside, right?
Inside.
Yes, in the nerves.
Yeah.
What was done about that?
It's really nothing that they can do for it. It's just you're on a maintenance basis. The most important thing once you're diagnosed is to try and get a good doctor, which I started out with a neurologist, but eventually I got advanced. And so he said that I need you to see an MS specialist, which that's all they deal with, because a neurologist, they don't just deal with MS patients, because they deal with people that have Parkinson's and things like that. And so the MS specialist, that person, well, male or female, mine is female in Houston. And so that's her goal, is just pointing out each individual thing that's going on with your multiple sclerosis.
She lives it. I mean, she is, every day she is on this. And so your doctor right now is in Houston. Is there any MS specialist here in Lake Charles?
No, I wish they were. I wish there was an MS specialist. And so you have to look out for yourself. And even my MS specialist says all the time, if you're not satisfied with your doctor, find another.
Yes, ask the questions, get the answers, find the one that is doing the help and making you feel like something's working. Exactly. So, okay. So, 2006 was the beginning. What did you do before that?
Just raising kids, and I had finally found my dream job. I was working at Boudreaux's new drugstore. So this particular day, I said, okay, I'm getting ready to leave. And so I went to get my purse and everything, and something stopped me. And I had to go back to the front. Well, as I was going to the front, one of my coworkers said, Mara, what's wrong? I say, nothing, and bam, I was out. I had a seizure.
That was before that happened while you were sleeping?
Right, recovered, because one thing with the seizure is that you have a headache that cannot be explained, and you sleep for hours. But they let me stay home for a little while, and I said, I'm feeling better, I'm ready to come back. And so I tried it for a while, but it was a compounding pharmacy, Boudreaux. You know, they have to concentrate on what they're doing. Yes. And so at that point, I was in the back putting stuff on the shelf, and if I drop a bottle, they were running to check on me. And so I said, no, I can't do this to y'all. I just went ahead and resigned, and I didn't want to leave. But, you know, when you throw on a curve, you have
to look at the new reality and do the best you can. So okay, there were seizures to begin with. Were there any other, and a numbness, any other symptoms that you experienced as you were being diagnosed, or
it was a whole lot of other things going on. I was losing weight at one point, and they didn't know why. It was back and forth, test this, test that. At that point, it was another disease that had come on board. Like I told you, it's like a party.
Yes.
Come on, the
Come
party
on
is
in,
over.
yeah.
Yeah, no invitation required. Yeah. So it turned out that I had Graves' disease. And that's basically, I don't know if you see the commercials, it's like TED. They have the, with the eyes bulging.
Yes.
That's why my eyes are so big.
Okay.
My family is always jabbing at me.
Well, that's what family does.
That's what they do, and especially mine.
It's lighthearted, yes.
Yes. It was initially diagnosed as that, and then we have TED. And in between that, that's when I had gotten down to like 91 pounds. And that's when I had hyperthyroidism, because I was fluffy. So when I lost all that weight, I was happy. So I told my husband, I said, oh yeah, I'm finally able to see my pretty neck again. And so the doctor said, can you please talk to her, because she is literally dying. I was dying. It was because I didn't realize how much control the thyroid has over your life.
It was a very big adjustment, because even with when she was having the issues with the thyroid, just watching her actively go downhill and being stubborn about the surgery. I think what the options were either the surgery or radiation. And if she would have had to get radiation, she wouldn't have been able to be anywhere around us. So it was like, so I think it took my daddy, is like, she said, I don't want to get cut into my I don't want to get cut into my pretty neck. Daddy said, well, I don't want to see your pretty neck in a casket.
That is one of the most powerful comebacks that I have ever heard. Now, what did you have to do?
I had to have the surgery. And so they took it out. Then it turns into hypo, which is underactive. So then you become fluffy again.
Yes. So when were you finally told you have MS?
I initially had a spinal tap done here. Test came back, it was like 10 markers, and I had 7 of them. So that pointed towards MS. And so I said, oh no, not me, no. So I said, no, I have to get a second opinion. And so that's when I went to Houston, and I saw a doctor there, and he confirmed it. Yeah, you do have it. And so of course I boo-hooed for a while, because you know, it's like my kids were young, and we kept it away from them, because
you don't want to worry them.
Yeah, they didn't need to know what all was going on. They knew something was going crazy with Mama, but they didn't need to know the details. And but one day when we finally did tell them, we were at the checkout, and we saw a magazine with Annette Fornicello on the cover, and she was in the wheelchair, and they saw multiple sclerosis, and so they were asking questions, is this gonna happen to you? I said, that's when I explained to them, it affects everybody differently. I'm not saying that I won't, but it's a possibility that I will.
That was a learning moment for them.
Exactly. And so after that, they were just like on guard with me on a regular basis, just watching every move I made.
It was like not too long after they had started telling us about, telling us that she had MS. And when she was going through the different medications, trying to see what works, she actually lost a little bit of mobility in her legs. So that was an experience, more or less, where she'd have to walk with a cane.
I was going to ask what.
Yeah, she'd have the cane. I think at one point you had the walker. She had all of that, and I remember us being at home, and next thing I know, we hear things like getting thrown all over the place. But me and my older brother, we walked out in the hallway, and she broke down because Daddy said it's all right. She's just frustrated.
But after that, once I finally settled down, got myself together, and accepted it, then I started doing research. Okay, That's when, that's when I had to go.
And it's a spectrum, right? You can know someone with MS, but it doesn't mean that you're going to have exactly the same thing happening.
Yeah.
So, and you learn that in your research.
Exactly.
Okay. My next question was about how did you respond to the diagnosis? You were not happy, and I completely understand that. But once you were able to breathe and understood, okay, we're going to take this, and I'm going to tell it what I can do.
You cannot let it control you. I can't sit in the corner and boo-hoo all the time, which we will have. I still do have those moments where I can't work, I can't do this, or just.
They're moments, but they don't own you. You own it, and you're going to get back on positive and faithful.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because I have to have a conversation with myself on a regular basis, where I'm saying, oh no, girl, you have stuff to do. So get it together and just go on about your business.
Can you give me an idea? How did you get to where you are today?
It goes back to the positive thinking and the faithfulness and willing to learn. If you don't know and you don't research, then you'll never know. This affects everybody differently. I have seizures. I haven't had one in 7 years, thank God. Of course, you have to take
Always
medicine.
watch it, yes.
Yeah, it's always, you have to take medicines. And Google is a wonderful thing. I have learned that. I'm still computer illiterate, but I'm learning.
But you're Google savvy, pretty much.
There you go, exactly. Anything you can think of and type it in, and it's right there. And one thing too, it affects your memory. So I do have to, I keep a notebook. Like when I know I'm going somewhere, I have to write 1, 2, 3, 4.
Absolutely. What else has happened in that time to get you where you are today?
I started a support group.
What's its name?
It's MS Warriors of Southwest Louisiana. Yeah.
Love that. What do y'all do?
I call it a safe zone. When people have things that people don't understand, they misjudge, misunderstand. This is a place where people can come, share their stories, and not be judged. 2 subjects we do not discuss in the meetings. Right off the bat, I told them when I started the meeting, we don't discuss religion or politics. They are not allowed. They are not allowed.
So everybody's welcome.
Everybody's welcome.
And we just don't go in that direction. We talk about the positivity and the
exactly.
It's needed to overcome this party that's going on inside.
Yeah, I mean, like I tell you, the party said, everybody, come on, y'all come in. No invitation. I said, okay, you want to come in the house? It's going to be a fight every day.
You're going to have some trouble having a party right here in this house. So.
But the group people, I have a lot of people on my list that I contact every month, but they don't all come. But, like I told them, I said, we have one person. We're having a meeting because that one person could benefit from some information that I found out. Because I have some of my members, they have moved away to other states. I found support groups for them. If they need MS resources, I tell them my phone is always, if I miss you, just leave a message. And so I've given all that information because it's a lot out there, but a lot of people don't know where to look. And because I'm the leader of the group, I have a lot of access to information. And so I have my husband as the co-leader. He's basically our entertainment.
Nice. You do need that though.
Yes. So they look forward to him. And it's expensive to mail out things. So I just tell them either call me and I'll text it to you, or give me email and I'll share it with you.
Great idea. So anybody who's watching this can contact you, MS Warriors of Southwest Louisiana,
But I actually went on the website and it's my old phone number that's on there. Yeah, so I have to change it.
Well, I'm going to put the new one on this video so that people will be able to make that adjustment. So that's what MS Warriors is all about, basically.
Encouragement and information.
Okay, so do you have a message for anyone who is right now living with MS?
Stay positive. Don't take everything so seriously, and don't be too sensitive, because I know it very well. I go through those moments where you just have a bad attitude. And I find myself, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go back and apologize, because it's not you, it's me. I'm just having my moment, and I shouldn't have taken it out on you, because it's not your fault. And then also, don't be afraid to make a list. Back to the list. Exactly. Because I have gone through where, oh, okay, I'll get up tomorrow and I'll remember to write it down. No. I have gotten up at 12 o'clock at night and grabbed my notebook and my pen.
Get it down right now, yes.
Because if I didn't, it's like poof, it never existed.
Right, exactly. Yes, okay. So write it down when you think of it. And you know, some people will write it down. You can even put it, if you have notes on your phone, right, you can put it on your phone. Just something that you can click on or look at that has it in front of you.
Exactly, yeah, because I'm cutting on lights at 12 o'clock at night and Terrell is looking at me like, what is going on? I had a thought, so I had to write it down.
Yes. And we're going to be meeting once a month to, you're going to do a little lesson or something like that every month about living with MS. And I'm looking forward to doing that, and so to be continued with that. You know, you'll get other advice. And I'm sure the video can go on the MS Warriors website, yes, maybe, but it'll definitely be on DevDocs, Theater's YouTube channel.
Yes, because I really would like to, anybody that might be comfortable in my group, I wanted to talk to you about that. Oh. If they,
anybody's welcome, yeah, most definitely. Okay. In fact, if anybody who's not from Southwest Louisiana wants to, you know, be a part of this, we can do a Zoom video. So yeah, everybody's welcome, and it's going to be once a month. We're going to see how far this can take you and the Warriors of Southwest Louisiana. So that's advice for those with MS. You have anything that you would like to say to people who, like me, who do not have MS? Is there something you would like us to know that you haven't gone over yet?
The only thing, the one thing, the most important is that be there and listen. That's what we want. Just listen. Don't come out the gate with, oh, I read on this, and trying to give advice, because it's actually offensive. It is. I'm sorry that it's like that.
No, but this is extremely important.
And, you know, it's coming from a good place, and we know it, but
we're not living it. Yeah. So we have to respect the fact that you are going through something that we are, even in our imaginations, we can't get to the full depth of what you're, yes. Yeah. So listen, yeah, and learn.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with you going and researching yourself, because sometimes we do ask people that don't have MS, do you really understand MS? And then they'll say, well, I'm trying to, maybe you can educate me further.
Every time y'all get together is an opportunity. Listen and learn, faith, positivity, and some wonderful advice. Thank you for that. Okay, so that's my list of questions that I wrote down, except for the last one. Is there anything that I haven't asked about that you would like for me to know and for us to know about living with MS?
Every day is different. You may go months and weeks with no issues, you just hopping and skipping along, and then you'll crash, and it may last for days. And it's just an unpredictable disease. I have a lady that's in my group, and she doesn't like that word at all, which I can understand. And I just say illness. Yeah. And so you have to come up with a plan that works for you on a daily basis.
And it's an individual thing. You have to find your the right one for you. And
Because see, that's another thing in the group, is that we share what might have happened to us.
nice, that's a great thing. Yes,
And
teamwork.
And so they'll write it down and say, well, I'll try this. And you have to be open-minded. And you can't be combative about everything, because that's being unproductive.
You can't let those bad moments totally flood your life. You need to stop the water and get out of the flood, and
And we still do have a lot of people that's still working with MS.
having jobs, okay.
I'm still fighting, because I'll keep thinking that I can go to work, and my husband said, stop. Nope, just stay at home. But I feel guilty because he gets out and goes to work, and it's so hot outside right now, and then I'm in the cool. And so I'm feeling guilty that I could be making more of a contribution. And he said, don't think that way. But when I rewind back, when I was first diagnosed and I did the research and everything, I actually told him he could leave. I said, we have no idea where this is gonna take me. So you might not be up for the battle. So I just told him, there won't be any hard feelings. I just don't want to interrupt your life. So he said no. He said, when I took those vows, for better, for worse, sickness and in health, rich or poor, I meant them. And so that's where we are. We have 3 kids. They're all grown. And when I was diagnosed, they were in middle school.
It helps now. It's like, since now we're older and we understand how everything goes, there's now a lot of like fun moments.
Now there are?
Yeah. There's a lot of fun moments.
All right, can you describe one?
Well, since my daddy recently discovered TikTok, we sometimes like to mess with her. Yes. It's so fun. I've already gotten so many videos.
So she's kind of like a TikTok celebrity?
Oh God, no, not even close. It'd be funny.
Okay, yeah.
I think I posted one video on YouTube, and they just got a bunch of views on it. It's fun watching her try to take on the big things. And
what do you mean, like big things?
In the middle of building a deck, and there was an auger involved.
Hey, let's try it, I mean, yeah, that's her positivity that she talked about. So that's excellent. Well, and you have that on TikTok?
That one's on YouTube.
Okay.
That one's actually on my YouTube.
All right. Well, thank you for this. And, I'm going to be meeting with her once a month. And so if you ever want to put parts of your life that are a part of this, basically, you're always welcome to join us and add whatever from your perspective and from your very unique living it. You're definitely welcome to come join us anytime.
Thank you.
As long as you're able. Thank you. Ellen Malveaux, is that it, Ellen? Thank you very much, Ellen, and to be continued. Thank you. Well, that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
That's it for now. To be continued.
Exactly. Thank you very much, MAW-ree, and everyone. Thank y'all for watching. It is truly an honor to be speaking to MAW-ree, and as she said, we'll be back with a lesson on understanding living with MS. So thank y'all very much for watching. Take care.